Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 39. Tesla has total dominance in Australia, and all of South Australia was powered by renewable energy. And the Tesla short sellers take the crown for the worst short selling in the last 5 years. Well, of course. And the Tesla Model 3 looks like it's going to be the best-selling EV in the world in 2020. And in the US electric car market, there is Tesla and there is all the rest. All this and much more to come on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Yet another place Tesla has total dominance is in Australia. 9 out of 10 electric cars sold in Australia in 2020 are Tesla's Model 3. Tesla has shipped more than 2,000 electric cars to Australia in 2020 to date, new figures reveals. As the third quarter of 2020 reached an end, the new data reveals that Tesla has outsold the electric sales of all other car makers combined by a factor of 2 to 1 in Australia. Another landslide achievement from Tesla. And some more great news from down under. Australia is really starting to use the biggest nuclear reactor in our solar system, the Sun. All of South Australia's power came from solar panels in the world's first for a major jurisdiction. South Australia renewable energy boom has achieved a new global milestone. For just over an hour on Sunday, October 11th, 100% of energy demand was met by solar panels alone. This is truly a phenomenon in the global energy landscape, Australia's energy market operator, Chief Executive Andrew Sibbleman said. Never before has the jurisdiction the size of South Australia been completely run by solar power, with consumers' rooftop solar system contributing with 77%. So cool to see, and also one of the things people tend to forget when they are talking about the grid can't handle all the power we need. If most people in the future living in houses will make their own energy and hardly need the grid, only sell their excess of energy back to it. We still hear short sellers screaming about Tesla's demand is going away. But so far in 2020, Tesla is the top selling plug-in brand. Tesla has so far in 2020 in the first 3 quarters delivered 316,820 cars. That puts them on the number 1 spot, even if we take in both fully electric and plug-in hybrids, as you can see on this chart here. In the BEV segment only, Tesla has 26% of global market share. Wow! It is followed by the Volkswagen Group with 120,793 sales, corresponding to a 10% market share. Third place went to Renault-Nissan with 109,095 registrations. So I still have no doubt that Tesla will stay in front in the EV market. At the end of the year, the Tesla Model 3 will be the best-selling EV of 2020. But what will happen in 2021? Well, Tesla will of course still stay in front because no one else has batteries enough to make about 1 million EVs. So I have no doubt that Tesla is also going to be the best-selling EV brand in 2021. But will 2021 be the year that the Model Y will overtake the Model 3 as the best-selling EV in the world? Because then we will have both Fremont and Shanghai producing Model Ys, and Berlin is also getting online as well. So going to be very exciting to see if the Model Y will take the crown next year. Because we also see here in Europe that the Model 3 is not just the best-selling EV in September, but the best-selling car in the mid-size segment here in Europe in September as well. As I said last week, here in Denmark, Model 3 is the best-selling car period in Denmark in September, no matter the segment. So yes, Tesla are replacing cars with combustion engines together with all the other EVs that are coming out and gaining momentum. And that is what we want. More nice, quiet cars that don't pollute the air inside our cities, which is Tesla's mission after all. And Tesla is ramping up its capital expenditure. Tesla just announced they will spend upwards to $12 billion in the next 2 years in ramping up their factories with their cars and batteries. They are only going to spend about $3.5 billion in 2020, but going forward they will ramp that up to about $5 to $6 billion a year. This should scare the old automaker, seeing Tesla, who's already in front, starting to spending more money in the future growth of Tesla than most other OEMs are spending, and Tesla is already growing faster than anyone else. And Tesla have this $12 billion in the bank, so this is not going to affect their business now. They will still be profitable going forward. No problem for Tesla spending this $12 billion. And Tesla has also become much more efficient at controlling their capital expenditure, as Guiley from Hyperchain pointed out in his new video. Just take a look at this chart he showed where Tesla is spending more money in 2017, where they were only ramping up production of the Model 3. And then look at the 2020 numbers, that was much lower. But here they are ramping up the Model Y production in the US, Model 3 production in China, building a factory in Berlin and Texas, and a second phase of the Shanghai factory, and they are spending less money. Just amazing job from Tesla, and just show you how much they are learning and how good they are becoming at controlling their business. This will probably mean that we will not see Tesla slowing down when the 3 gigafactories they are building right now is done, probably speeding things up even more. So let me know in the comments below, when do you think we will see Tesla announce their next gigafactory, and how many will they build in the next 2 years? Let the guesses begin down below. They can do a lot with $12 billion. And if you want to take a deeper dive into the capex of Tesla, I will leave a link to Guiley's great video down below. And the Tesla short sellers are taking the crown for the worst short selling in the last 5 years. Well, of course. Short selling is an investment and trading strategy to speculate on declining in a stock price. This is the opposite of a more conventional long position, where the investor will profit if the value of the asset rises. Tesla is a company which has very high interest from short sellers, but the desire to make money on the manufacturing costs them dearly. The past 5 years has been difficult for short sellers, and Value Walk has created top 10 worst short calls. And as you can see here, Tesla take the #1 spot. Despite the market sell-off and the weakness in September, 2020 has been an especially rough year for the short sellers. This year, Tesla short sellers has lost an astonishing $29.2 billion on their bet. Ouch. I will say it again. Don't bet against Elon Musk, the man that did this. You want to bet against the man who did this? Okay, good luck. And something else the short sellers has been screaming about is the CO2 credits that Tesla gets. That is also going away. But that's not true either. The short sellers has been saying that the other OEMs are now building their own EVs, so they no longer need to pay Tesla the CO2 credits. Well, there are some that still needs to do this and have a multi-year agreement with Tesla. FCA CEO Mike Manley said the group is locked with Tesla on carbon credits for a multi-year agreement. This means that Tesla will continue to benefit financially from this deal for several more years. So FCA are still going to pay Tesla hundreds of billions of euros for many years to come. Nice. And let's get our weekly dose of the Gigafactory 4 in Berlin. Tesla Giga Berlin looks like it's coming together quite nicely, especially its revolutionary paint shop that just got fitted with the first batch of equipment. With the speed of the factory that is actually going up a bit ahead of schedule compared to the Gigafactory 3, we can expect it to start production in the spring of 2021. Yeah, 2021 is going to be something special. And another place we hear the short sellers talking about that demand is going away and Tesla is doomed is here in Europe. But as I have said many times before, it is the same thing we have to go through every quarter, where these short sellers just don't get it. Deliveries in Europe are low in the beginning of every quarter because they're running out of cars to deliver, but end up strong because of all the cars that have been delivered to Europe from the Fremont factory in the middle of the quarter. And we have heard them screaming about the ID3 is coming and that would just destroy the demand for the Tesla Model 3 and take the crown in Europe. Well, the numbers are in for the deliveries in Europe for September. And guess who is at the #1 spot? yes, the Tesla Model 3, is the best sold EV in Europe in September. This should put skeptics to rest. Yet another record-breaking month for Tesla in Europe. Yes, there is no demand problem here. Their only problem with getting enough cars to the continent from the US. But now Tesla got a whole new factory that can help out. Because Tesla has just shipped about 7,000 cars from China to Europe. On October 26th, Tesla Giga Shanghai held a ceremony for Chinese-made Model 3 vehicles exporting to Europe. It is expected that they will arrive in Europe in the end of November, and it's going to be a big help in making an end-of-the-year push to get as many cars in the hand of customer and hopefully get to the 182,000 deliveries in Q4, bringing the total to 500,000 cars delivered. Yes, no demand problem in Europe, and Tesla is still beating the ID.3, despite the ID.3 has a lot of pre-orders to go through. If this is not showing the strength of Tesla, I don't know how else to show it. Or maybe I do, because the Tesla's Model 3 is also the best-selling new energy vehicle in Shanghai from January to September. The popularity of the company's vehicles continue to grow along with the expansion of the production facilities. With its Model 3, Tesla has been the top-selling electric vehicle manufacturer in China for several times, attracting particularly attention in the country's major cities. And now for the first 9 months of the year, Tesla is the best-selling brand among new energy vehicles, including hybrids in Shanghai. According to the data, Shanghai is already the largest market for Tesla in China, and its potential has yet to be fully tapped. Between January and September, 60,087 Model 3s were sold here, making it the best-selling vehicle among all EVs and gas-powered cars. This number of models sold in just one city of the world speaks volumes. And as you can see here, not many companies are keeping up. SAIC is in second place, about 3,400 less than Tesla, but the rest is really lagging behind. The ones we always hear about is Chinese BYD, Niro, XPeng. Well, we can still combine all their numbers and we will only end up with 11,811. Yes, Tesla is doing great in China, despite what the short sellers might try to say. And as I have said before, Chinese people love Western brands, and this is one of Tesla's advantages in China. They are a very beloved brand, and the demand is not going down in China either, it's going up. And if we take a look at the Model 3's homeland, the US, it's also the absolutely dominating force in the luxury sedan market. If we take a look at these 10 models, including the popular BMW 3 Series and the Audi A4, there is still Tesla and all the rest. And even if we take the rest and combine their sales numbers in September, they have not even sold a third of the sales number of the Model 3. That sold 30,052. And we have seen a lot of full self-driving beta testers sharing their videos. And we now have evidence of the cars learning all by themselves.
Oh, it learned! It learned!
See? It did it.
I literally just did this and it didn't work.
And now it works.
And now it worked.
Tesla cars doesn't necessarily need to get an over-the-air update to know new stuff and share that with the fleet, just like Andrew Carpathy explained back in February. This is just yet another thing that only Tesla does, and again something that will set Tesla apart from all the rest. And you should check out Seb Hallock's YouTube video where he's taken on a gravel road, partly covered by leaves, and it is still driving by itself. Just amazing what this full self-driving beta can do. I like to see Waymo try to do that. Oh wait, they can't. And if you want a different view of the full self-driving, Raj from Tesla Raj made a new video with a 360 camera, so you can look around inside while driving, seeing the Tesla making a full self-drive from start to finish with very little interventions. Very cool to see this in action and just how much it can do, just amazing. I will leave a link below to Raj's video together with Seb's. A new survey showed that kids want to go electric and they are getting their parents to buy EVs. According to Peugeot, more than half of the children surveyed in Britain want their parents to be more environmental friendly. And last year we learned that kids really love Tesla. And from speaking to Tesla sales staff and former sales staff, Sakari from Clean Technica learned that kids are quite often the reason the parents buy a Tesla. What happens is they are so enthusiastic about Tesla that they strongly encourage their parents to go into a Tesla store, test drive a car, and then of course buy the car. It's like I told you guys before in my children's kindergarten, where the children are only 5 years old, they're all like, wow, they got a Tesla. Yeah, some know what a Tesla is at the age of 5. And these children are our future, and guess which car they're dreaming of buying when they grow up? Exactly. Tesla's future is looking good. And if you want to survive in the car market in the future, you better be making EVs. And one thing that makes Tesla stand out from everyone else is how easy it is to buy one. Elon Musk has said you can order a Tesla in under 1 minute, and Rob Maurer from Tesla Daily put that to the test when he bought a Tesla Model 3. Can you actually buy one in under 1 minute? Yes, you can. Tesla just makes it easy. Try doing that with a Ford. Yeah, you better take the day off then. And Panasonic do not want to be left in the dust by Tesla, so they are already developing a 4680 cells to meet Tesla's battery needs. Panasonic has announced that it is working on a new battery pack that will be based on the recently unveiled Tesla 4680 battery. Panasonic CFO Hirokazu said that the company has the know-how for the new battery and is preparing to launch a prototype production line. Additionally, Panasonic manufacturing facility will open at Gigafactory Nevada next year. The new line will increase the plant's capacity by about 10% by 2022. Way to go, Panasonic. BHP turned to renewables for nickel mining that may supply Tesla, starting with solar and batteries. BHP has inked a new deal that will see renewable energy electricity generation integrated to the power supply for its Nickel West operations, including solar, wind and energy storage technologies. The new deal, a 15-year power purchase agreement with South Cross Energy, extend the current agreement between the two companies to 2038 and pave the way for the BHP to supply sustainable nickel to its customers. What could soon include US EV and battery giant Tesla. Nice to see when Elon say we will give a giant contract to anyone who will mine more nickel in a sustainable way. These companies will react because it's almost risk-free for them. They know Tesla will make them a big contract. And SpaceX has made 100 flights. Very impressive. And SpaceX made this little 1-minute video to celebrate. I will leave a link to the whole video in the description below. Congratulations to SpaceX. And SpaceX President and Chief Operating Officer Gwynne Shotwell revealed this week that the company also plans to provide high-speed internet to the Red Planet one day. In an interview with Time magazine, she shared the reason why SpaceX is creating the Starlink network. One of the reasons is to maintain communication with the future Mars colony. Once we take people to Mars, they are going to need capability to communicate, she said. I think it will be even more critical to have a constellation of Starlink satellites around Mars. And then of course, we need to connect the two planets as well, Shotwell told reporters. And do you remember Team Trees? Because last year I was part of, as 800,000 other people, Mr. Beast and Mark Rubert's Team Trees. That has reached over 22 million trees that will be planted. Elon did support the project by donating $1 million and therefore planted 1 million trees. Yeah, I planted 100 trees, so that's good too. And they have planted over 7 million trees in 2020 and expect to plant 14 million trees in 2021. This good cause that many people all over the world from 200 different countries has supported are really doing great things right now. And if you want to know more, head over to Team Trees. I will leave a link in the description below. And Tesla Model 3 soundly beats fossil fuel rivals in the Targa West Rally. The Model 3 performance has proven itself to be a rather frightening force in rallies after the electric sedan completely dominated the 130 class of the Targa West Rally, ending the race nearly 10 minutes ahead of the lineup of fossil fuel powered competitors. The Tesla Model 3 performance was driven by Jürgen and Helen Lunchman. We have talked about them here on this channel before, who drove the vehicle over 4 days to complete the 1,000-kilometer race. Interestingly enough, the Model 3 performance, which was racing for West Australia EV charging business Gemtech, is the first all-electric car to dominate the Targa West Rally's 130 class, which means they are limited to a top speed of 130 km an hour in such a definitive fashion. So impressive was the Model 3 performance that it actually beat the time of the cars that were competing in the 165 class, which allows the vehicles to go as fast as 165 km an hour. Tesla still dominated the winner of the 165 class by over 4 minutes. Nicely done, and congratulations to Jürgen and Helen yet again. I have reported before that Tesla is taking its first steps to become an energy provider in the UK. Now they are. Now they have officially launched the Tesla Energy Plan in partnership with Octopus Energy. Tesla's authorized retail partner Octopus Energy administers the plan. By joining Tesla Energy Plan, you will become a part of Tesla's UK virtual power plant. Your power will be managed by Tesla and connected to the growing network of homes across the UK. The plan is designed to help support the energy needs and stability of the electric grid, while providing you with ongoing savings through the most competitive rates on the market. Tesla claims that these rates could reduce users' electricity bill by up to 75% compared to Big 6 electricity supplier tariffs. You of course need solar panels and power walls, so if you don't have that already, you of course have a big purchase in front of you before you can get the electricity bill down. But if you already have all that, this seems like a no-brainer. Right now, the Tesla Energy Plan is only offered in the UK through retailer Octopus Energy. Anyone with the Tesla Powerwall and solar power can jump on board the program. Recently, Elon Musk said that Tesla Energy, the energy division of the automaker, is becoming a distributed global utility, and it could even outgrow its automotive business. This is the first step towards something really big. And it's time for some Tesla shorts. India is also taking action to get greener. India proposes law to tackle country's deadly air pollution, and the draft of the law could be submitted in the court very soon. And Thailand gets fleet of electric ferries to help clean up Bangkok. Some 27 zero-emission passenger ferry will soon replace diesel boats in Bangkok. And it is exactly 10 years ago this week that Tesla opened the Fremont factory they bought from GM and Toyota. They went from 1,000 employees to 10,000 employees in 10 years in this factory. What an amazing journey this has been for Tesla. Congratulations. SpaceX roll out Starlink's Better Than Nothing beta program in the US and Canada, as the company has begun sending out emails to potential testers, and the official iOS app has hit the Apple App Store. Can't wait to hear more about this and how it works. And if this picture don't make you dream about the amazing future, I don't know what will. And Polestar 2 get hit with a second recall in a month, this time due to faulty inverters. Not looking good for this Polestar 2. And the growing sales of Tesla means that Tesla has to make more service center, and they are now ramping up. Tesla plans to add over 52 new service center in 2021. One new service center every week. Very good to hear Tesla is ramping this up. It is much needed with all these new Teslas on the road. And Vincent from Tasmania just shared his Tesla insurance payment for 6-month payment for both his Model 3 and Model Y together. $1,256 for 2 drivers, full coverage. This is just insanely cheap. Hope Tesla insurance come to Europe soon, because that is what I pretty much pay per month for one Model 3. And before we end with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest members of this channel. Jack Goldstein, Ivan Sandy Wyatt, and Peter Samuelson. Thank you so much guys for your support. And let's end off with a bit of fun. A little video about former CAO of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer. Yes, this guy. Yeah, that guy. Because he did sound just like the big automakers did 5 years ago that didn't take Tesla too serious. Let's check it out.
Steve Jobs goes to Macworld and he pulls out this iPhone. What was your first reaction when you saw that?
$500 fully subsidized with a plan? I said, that is the most expensive phone in the world, and it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard, which makes it not a very good email machine. Now, it may sell very well or not. We have our strategy. We've got great Windows mobile devices in the market today. You can get a Motorola Q phone now for $99. It's a very capable machine. It'll do music. It'll do internet. It'll do email. It'll do instant messaging. So I kind of look at that and I say, well, I like our strategy. I like it a lot.
How do you compete with that, though? He sucked out a lot of the spotlight in the last few weeks because of what happened at Macworld, not only with the iPhone, but with the new iPod. How do you compete with that, with the Zune?
Right now, well, let's take phones first.
Okay.
Right now, we're selling millions and millions and millions of phones a year. Apple is selling 0 phones a year. In 6 months, they'll have the most expensive phone by far ever in the marketplace. And let's see, what's the expression? Let's see how the competition goes.
And we all know how that went. And the crazy thing is that Tesla is like the iPhone, but the Model 3 is not a very expensive car compared to the gas cars in its class like the BMW 3 Series or the Audi A4. Tesla is the iPhone of the cars, but for the price of the Motorola. Tesla is going to be more disruptive than the iPhone was. That is all we have time for in this news episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out a lot. And if you did like it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. If you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of the show and get your shout out here on this channel. You can also become a member of Best in Tesla YouTube channel and get shout outs and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. But going forward, I will make more videos available for Patreons and members only, so don't miss out. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news and more in there as it comes out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.